I used to think I was pretty decent with money. I had a college degree, I was working in architecture, making decent money, I could calculate square footage and material costs in my sleep. But here's the thing. Being smart and being financially literate are two completely different things. The habits that made the biggest difference weren't complicated at all. They were simple, small changes that compounded over time. So in this video, I'm breaking down 8 tiny habits that'll make you outrageously financially literate in 2026. These aren't things that require a finance degree or hours of your time, just practical, actionable habits anyone can start today. And I challenge you, pick just one of these to implement this week. Not all 8, just one, because that's how real change happens. I'm the honest dude. If you want to actually understand money instead of just hoping it works out, hit that subscribe button. Habit number 1, match your money with your priorities. This is probably the most important habit on this list. And honestly, I wish someone had told me this years ago. For years, I was spending money on things that didn't actually matter to me. I'd buy gear for side projects I never used. I'd go out for expensive dinners because everyone else was. I'd spend money on things I barely touched because I thought that's what successful people do. And the weirdest part? I'd look at my bank account at the end of the month and feel broke, but I couldn't even remember what I'd spent the money on. Your money should reflect what you actually care about. You work hard for it, so use it on what matters to you, not what you think should matter. I did this exercise where I wrote down my top 5 priorities. Things like building financial freedom, staying healthy, learning new skills, spending quality time with people I care about. Then I looked at where my money was actually going. Massive disconnect. So I flipped the script. More money went into books and learning. Better quality food, investments for financial freedom, less on random stuff that collected dust. I felt richer, even though I was spending the same amount. It was like I'd given myself a raise without making more money. Here's what you can do. Write down your top 5 priorities. Then look at your bank statement from the last 30 days. There's going to be a gap. Closing that gap is where financial literacy actually starts. Habit number 2, do a monthly money date. Once a month, block out 30 minutes for a money date. Just you, your laptop, your bank statements, no distractions. Do 3 things. Review your spending from the last 30 days. Check in on progress toward financial goals. Set one focus for the next month, not 10 goals, not some massive overhaul. One thing. Save an extra $200 this month. Increase investing by 1%. Reduce takeout spending by 20%. When you try to change everything at once, you get overwhelmed and change nothing. One clear focus, you'll actually do it. Habit number 3, automate the basics. Automate everything you know is recurring. Because remembering to transfer money, making sure bills get paid manually, that's boring. And when something's boring, we forget to do it. Here's what to automate. Bills and fixed expenses leave automatically after payday. Money automatically transfers into savings every month. Recurring purchases, automate those too. Before I automated everything, I had great intentions. Then life would happen, and by the end of the month, there'd be nothing left. Automating removes willpower from the equation. You make the decision once, and then forget about it forever. It completely frees up your mental space. Start small. Automate one thing this week. Habit number 4, start investing with small amounts. Early. Starting early with what you can is one of the biggest drivers of long-term wealth. Start with low-cost index funds that track entire markets. Look, I'm not a financial advisor, but here's what I've learned. Time in the market beats timing the market. Every time. Let me give you a real example. When I was 23, I had about $3,000 saved up. I kept thinking, I'll start investing when I have $10,000, then it'll actually matter. That was stupid. Those 2 years I waited, if I'd invested that $3,000 and kept adding $100 a month, I'd be thousands of dollars ahead today, just from compound growth. Here's the math. If you invest $100 a month starting at age 25, assuming a 7% average annual return, roughly the historical stock market average after inflation, by age 65, you'd have about $240,000. Wait until age 35, you'd have about $115,000, half the money for waiting 10 years. That's compound interest. Most people completely ignore it because they're waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. The best time was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Habit number 5. Take one learning and implement it that day. Whenever you watch a YouTube video like this, read an article, or listen to a podcast about money, pick one thing and implement it that day. Learn about a savings account with a better interest rate. Before the day ends, open it. Hear about a budgeting technique. That evening, set it up. Most people consume tons of financial content, but never do anything with it. They watch videos, nod along, think, that's a great idea, and move on. Nothing changes. But when you force yourself to implement one thing immediately, that's what puts you ahead. You're not passively absorbing information. You're actively building your financial life one step at a time. It doesn't have to be massive. Check your credit score, update your resume, increase your 401k contribution by 1%. Small actions done consistently create outrageously good financial habits. Habit number 6. Don't hide from talking about money. I used to be so uncomfortable talking about money. Like, money was something polite people just didn't talk about. And I think part of it was fear. Fear that I'd find out everyone else had it figured out and I was the only one struggling. Fear that people would judge me. But 62% of Americans don't talk about money with family or friends. Yet 66% believe having candid conversations about money is key to achieving financial freedom. We're all sitting in silence, assuming everyone else has it together. I started having real conversations about money with people I trust. Not showing off, not competing, just genuine learning-focused conversations. And you know what I found? A lot of people are just as confused as I was. Everyone has questions. Everyone's made mistakes. Nobody has it completely figured out. The relief from those first few conversations was huge. Like I wasn't alone in this anymore. Start small. Next time you're with a friend, I've been thinking about my budget lately. How do you manage yours? The more you talk about money, the less scary it feels, and the more you learn from other people's experiences, the faster you progress. Habit number 7. Reframe your mind for long-term gratification. This is more of a mindset shift, but it's essential. We live in instant gratification world. Want something? Order it now. Hungry? Food in 20 minutes. Building wealth is the exact opposite. It's about making choices today that your future self will thank you for. When I first started investing, it was hard seeing money leave my account, knowing I shouldn't touch it for years. My brain screamed, you could use that money now for something fun. Instead of seeing it as a sacrifice, I started seeing it as a gift to my future self. Here's a trick that actually worked for me. Take 5 minutes right now and visualize your future self. Not in some vague way, really picture it. Who do you want to be in 5 years? What does your life look like? Where are you living? What kind of work are you doing? How much financial stress are you carrying? Now think about 10 years from now. Same questions. What does that version of you need from you today? What would they thank you for? When I did this exercise, I realized that future me would be thanking, present me for every dollar invested, every skill learned, every good financial habit built. And future me would definitely be pissed if I blew money on stuff that didn't matter. When you think about it like that, saying no in the short term doesn't feel like deprivation. It feels like self-respect. Long-term gratification isn't about suffering now to enjoy later. It's about recognizing that your future self is just as important as your present self. Habit number 8, spend money on skills. This feels like spending, but it's actually investing. The best investment you can ever make isn't in stocks or property. It's in yourself, in your skills, in your knowledge. Every skill you develop has the potential to increase your earning power forever. Spend $500 on a course that teaches you a skill that helps you earn an extra $1,000 a year. That's not an expense. That's a 200% return in year 1, and it keeps compounding. I've spent money on courses for design software that increased my income. I've spent money on business courses that helped with side projects, all worth it. And it doesn't have to be expensive. Sometimes it's a book that changes how you think. Sometimes it's a $50 online course. The key is being intentional. Pick skills that actually matter for where you want to go. My rule, I'm willing to spend money on learning as long as I can clearly explain how that skill will benefit me. If I can't explain it, I don't buy it. Skills are the only thing that can't be taken away. Economies crash, investments drop, Companies fail, but the knowledge and skills you've built, that's yours to keep. The bottom line, those are 8 tiny habits you can start today. Financial literacy isn't about being perfect with money. It's about being intentional. Pick one habit from this list, just one. Implement it this week. Once that becomes automatic, add another. Small, consistent actions compound just like money does. The person who implements one habit a month for a year will be in a completely different financial position than the person who watches videos and does nothing. Look, I used to feel embarrassed that I didn't know this stuff sooner. I'd see people my age who seemed to have their finances figured out, and I'd wonder what was wrong with me. Why didn't I learn this in school? Why did everyone else seem to get it except me? But here's what I realized. Nobody is born knowing this stuff. Everyone who's ahead of you financially, they all started somewhere. They all had a day one, and today can be your day one. The fact that you're here, watching this, trying to learn, that already puts you ahead of most people. So don't beat yourself up. Just take one step forward. Being good with money isn't a talent. It's a choice. You don't need to be perfect, just consistent. And if you're serious about taking control of your money in 2026, I just put together a video breaking down 10 everyday expenses you should stop paying for. Things that seem small, but add up to thousands per year. Money that could be going toward the priorities you actually care about. Check it out right here, because these tiny spending leaks are probably costing you more than you think. If this video helped you see a path forward with your finances, hit that like button and subscribe for more honest breakdowns about money and building actual wealth. I'll see you in the next one.